Hello, welcome back to the Juniper Veil. I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to ask about Trump and this situation we have going on in the Middle East. I'm going to do a Celtic cross. I'm not sure which cards I want to use yet. I've shuffled these already, but I'm going to shuffle them again on camera. Basically, I want to do a Celtic cross on the idea of, how does Trump see this going? Um, what are his plans? What's the past influence on him? Outcome. Um, and then I kind of want to do another spread after that, but it's dependent upon what I get in the Celtic Cross. Because I feel like I want to use both decks, but I don't want to ask the same question for both. So I think I'm going to use this deck first. This is the Bright Tarot. I have little stickers that I got to put on the bits that YouTube doesn't like. So hopefully those are still on here even after I shuffle. And I'll use these for my follow-up question. Let me put this here for now. So Celtic Cross. Oh boy. So what is the president's Trump's view on what's going on right now in Iran? What is his hopes and fears? What's the outcome going to be? One more shuffle. I'll allow reversals if they come up. Whoa. Ooh, trick card. Okay, so I'll use this as my card number 1, present self. Card number 2, the problem. Card number 3, the past. Might run out a little bit of room. Card number 4, the future. Card number 5, conscious. Card number 6, the unconscious. Card number 7 is your influencer, his influence. You can see the stickers. Let's see. 8 is external influence. 9 is hope and fears. And 10 is outcome. Okay, so what do we have here first? We have the 4 of Wands, which is like the foundation card. It's also called like the wedding card, marriage card. So this position reveals the current situation. What is now happening can also be used to represent the current state of mind, and a snapshot of the current moment in time. So wands are about willpower, energy, outworld activities, right? So there is this foundation, this plan that's going on right now for war. There needs to be clarity within the war for it to go properly. So this could be, you can also, since we call this a marriage card, he's got something going on with Netanyahu, right? They're married somehow to each other. Whether that's a good marriage or a marriage of convenience, or somebody has blackmail and somebody else, it's like a shotgun wedding. We'll see, I think, in the future. I don't think it's a marriage of equals. I do believe that Netanyahu probably has some type of info on Trump, so now they're in this together. The problem I have here is the 3 of Pentacles. Pentacles are difficult. I mean, not difficult. They are about money, finances, business, material, people who deal with the economy. So threes, we're trying to see the big picture. There's movement, there's action, there's growth. So I think the problem right now is showing that there's something that needs to be resolved, right? This is a challenge. I think it's a money challenge. Could also be a health challenge because pentacles are also about health. Um, you have to be careful that you're not spreading yourself too thin when it comes to threes. So I think the problem really is kind of obvious that Trump is spreading the United States too thin in the sense that we are running out of munitions. We can't really afford this. Um, so that's the money aspect as well. So I think that is a real issue. This is not something, this is not a war that people are going to make money from. This is a war that people are going to lose money. Number three is the past. So these are the past events that shape the current situation. This can give us some more information on influences that led up to the state of affairs. And there we have the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is like the happy families card. Usually it's, about romance or emotions or comfort or intuition, kindness and compassion. So there was an ending. So tens are endings, right? They bring on the new beginnings. Could be the end of a rocky cycle, could not. Um, but I think what this is saying that there was an ending to certain social relationships that I think had Trump make this decision or whoever told Trump to make this decision, because Russia's not happy about this. I don't think Russia wants them to do this. However, at the same time, Europe, if they cannot get oil or energy, they will have to go to Russia. And so, in a sense, this kind of also favors Russia. So, I'm trying to think about what is this an end of? I feel like there came an end of comfort. There came an end, I think, basically, the end of comfort is Trump realizing that the people of the US are not for him. He's losing those that used to vote for him, that used to fight for him. He's becoming very unpopular. And I think even in his own writings on, I think it was Twitter, when he said Obama will boost his popularity by starting a war, I think that that's exactly what Trump is trying to do. I feel like he feels like he had popularity in the past. Now he no longer does. So wartime. Four is the future. This card represents what could be a likely turn of events given that nothing changes. So this could be a short term happening. It doesn't have to represent the final ending, but we have the Nine of Wands. So wands again are about those outworld activities. They're fire and masculine. Nines talk about compassion and tolerance. Um, you know what you want and you know how to get it. It could also be kind of like that end of wholeness or a cycle. So the Nine of Wands, the future in this is saying that someone will be achieving something, but will it be Trump? That's the question. Let me check the Nine of Wands. Because I feel like they're, in the short term, somebody will be getting what they want. I think in a lot of ways, it's a short term of Trump getting a small boost and maybe favoritism, like he did with the speech that he did, State of the Union. There's always a little bit of a small boost, but it's not going to be a big of a deal. I mean, If just because he got a little bit of a boost doesn't mean he's going to have this fantastic boost. The Nine of Wands can represent a person's life which has seen too many trials, but they were able to overcome them through determination and willpower. Could also indicate that a person has been betrayed and has become distrustful of others. This could be due to something that has occurred several times and appears hopeless at first glance. So that's interesting. So if we're looking at, I feel like this is the near future, if nothing changes. There'll be a small bump in maybe popularity. There may be a small win that Trump has in some way, but I think it has more to do with him keeping the Epstein files at bay for a little while. I think that's really all it does. I believe Netanyahu has something over Trump when it comes to the Epstein files, and this is just delaying it coming out. And that's just the immediate future. 5, let's see. Conscious. This card explores what you are focused on and where your mind is. This can also represent your goals and your desires regarding the situation. And we have temperance for that. So, what is this saying? Is this saying that Trump feels that this is the right thing to do, which he probably does? He feels like this is what he needs to do to create a modern ground so that the e-files are not leaked by somebody else. There's also that subconscious at play because the angel is in the water. The subconscious and the superconscious minds are mixing. So I think Trump is trying to maintain some type of calm and anxiety or stress, and that may have more to do with his health. He doesn't let other people bother him, usually, or at least that's what he's trying to do. So when you get this card, it's saying that extreme measures should be avoided in any situation. So I think that's probably what he needs to do. And maybe he is trying to create some type of balance with his health and his popularity. I think that his lack of popularity is affecting his health. He's starting a war to try to boost popularity, but also hide files. So he's got this balancing act going on right now. I think that's what he's subconsciously doing. Unconsciously is the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is usually like a celebration. For the unconscious, reveals what is truly driving the situation, feelings, beliefs, values that he doesn't quite understand yet. In a way, this kind of makes me think of he just wants to fit in, right? You have the Three of Cups, you have three people celebrating together, which in a lot of ways could be Trump, Netanyahu, Putin. He wants to be one of the guys. He wants to feel like he's part of the team, that he's popular. But I think both Netanyahu and Putin view him as like the annoying little brother that they can boss around and get what they want out of him for their own pleasure, basically. So I think that's what's going on there. When we look at influence card, the lovers, that kind of goes with the Three of Cups. So this could be a broad influence, but it generally relates to how he sees himself and how the perception can influence how the situation plays out. He feels like he's an equal with them. They don't see that. He's not an equal to Putin and Netanyahu, especially intellectually. He's not an equal. Businessman, business wise, he's not an equal. He's not a good businessman. And he doesn't have the, I don't know how popular Netanyahu and Putin are. I don't think they're particularly popular, but um, Trump does not have the following that they have. But he thinks he does. External influence. So we have some fighting going on here. We have the Five of Wands. This card represents the world around you and how it affects the situation. So this could be a social and emotional environment that he's operating in. And it's also how others perceive him. So they just see fighting, right? They see there's these Five of Wands, there's struggle of willpower, the struggle between Israel, Iran, Russia, the US. Everybody wants to be big man in charge. And this is what the world sees. They see these people in charge fighting with each other. And none of them are caring about the people. They're just fighting within each other for their own gains. 9 card, hopes and fears. So this is the 8 of Swords. We have that difficult situation. We have somebody who is tied up. They can't go anywhere. They can't move. This can be a hard card to decode in the spread, but it represents both what Trump secretly desires as well as what he may be trying to avoid. Human nature is often paradoxical, and what we fear the most is sometimes what we also truly been hoping for all along. I think he's, of course, scared of losing, having his hands tied, not being able to see, not being able to move. This could be both health wise and it could be political. He fears dying. He fears being helpless. He fears losing. He wants that to happen to other people, but it's going to happen to him. And then the outcome is the Knight of Wands. So this is kind of like a summary of all the other cards. Given all that is happening, what is the likely resolution of the event? So we have the Knight of Wands. Knights are action. They're action cards. They're getting ready to do stuff. Wands, fire and masculine. We could say that this is more fighting, that the war will go on. It's not stopping, which would be awful. Let me check something else just to make sure I didn't miss anything. For the Knight of Wands, knights are messengers as well. This knight, of course, has armor on. He's ready for battle. He's got his helmet on. It's a pretty straightforward card. It also indicates that it is a good time to get away and travel. Does that mean Trump should flee? Possibly. The knight is daring, but he has to balance with realistic and well-rounded perspectives. And it could also mean that something unexpected is about to happen. Did we have that? No, we didn't have the 8 of Wands, but we had the 9 of Wands, right? Yeah. So Knight of Wands also frequently indicates a hasty change of something. So maybe the war won't continue on, but there's going to be some type of change. There may be some fleeing. There may be some. We also see the knight as a person who is boots on the ground. Are we going to send in troops, boots on the ground? That could be what this card is saying. He's going to decide because he does not want to lose. He's sending in troops, boots on the ground. He doesn't care if people don't make it. He feels like that is the action of war. We lose people. I believe he said something to that extent. So I think that's what that card means. We're putting people on the ground in Iran or wherever else. Well, that sucks. But I think that's pretty much showing where he's coming from. So let's see. 20 minutes. What else do I want to ask? So I guess I want to ask more about American soldiers going to war actually within the countries themselves. How do I want to word this? Do I want to do a Celtic cross? Let's see. No, I don't think I want to do a Celtic cross. I think I'm just going to do... I keep coming up with yes or no questions, and I'm like, I don't know if I want yes or no questions right now. I want to see what's the plan for American troops in this war coming up. What's the plan from the Trump administration, from the Secretary of Defense, about troops, American troops in this war? One more shuffle, shuffle. Could do 5 cards. Great. Money, money, money. Money, 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 money. 10 of Swords. Because this 10 of Swords shows, like, the skull with swords through it. I mean, that shows the end of a cycle. I can't yet say if it means an end of a difficult time. Swords are double-sided. This could also be the end of growth and development. And then we have the 4 of Cups. We have the person who is pouting. Sometimes this shows up as my trump card. A man pouting over one spilt cup, even though the other ones are still fine. King of Pentacles, somebody's in charge of the money, right? Material resources, protection. This is probably more like Hexeth now. If Trump is not well, Hexeth, the Secretary of Defense, he could be in charge, collecting money, and then possible sharing of money. Also protection. But what does this have to do with what's the plan for the American troops going forward? Whew. Trying to figure out exactly how this... The 6 of Pentacles helps to show equality and fairness, which is reminded of the Justice card. The 9 of Pentacles is showing us Successful ventures with a large, plentiful harvest. That shows people that are self-sufficient. The King of Pentacles, of course, is in charge of the Pentacles. Maintain control over our energy and resources when pursuing a larger goal. That's interesting. Because if we're sending in the army, right, we're already low on munitions. We have to, or at least the administration has to understand that they need to have control and planning. It looks like here that they are collecting munitions, or they're collecting money to get munitions. They're making that trade for more if they can. From where, though, I don't know, because China, I don't think, is going to make any for us. So I'm very curious about where they're getting those munitions. I think this is showing that they realize that we are without when it comes to the munitions. Trumpy's making his little plan about where he's going to get them from. So he's bartering with somebody. But I don't know what he's giving in order to have munitions and the money to send in the troops. I think that's what's going on here. But who is the King of Pentacles? Who is he getting this money from? Is it Russia? Or who's he getting the munitions from? I think that's going to be the question. What is he giving away? And I'm sure he's not giving away anything for himself. He's not going to give away stuff from him. He's going to give away whatever he can from the American people that he collects. Whether it's information, money, it's probably information. I definitely see him bartering information in order to get money because he's not in a good spot. He's a 4. He's not a king in this spread. Somebody else is the king. Somebody else is in charge. So I think they're going to go ahead with the plan of putting troops on the ground, but they know they don't have any munitions and they don't have money. And so he's going to make some type of plan in order to get that. And that's what I think is going to happen. Please like and subscribe. I did get to go to the dark side night market, so I got some new things, but I got some new cards too. I'll go over that some other time. But I did post some pictures on my community page, so you can see those there. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share with those you think would be interested in these readings or interested in learning tarot. If you have a topic you'd like me to read on, please post it in the community page. I put on the community page a post through ResistBot where you can message your Congress members about telling them to stop this war. It's a very simple system to use. It's all done through texting with ResistBot. ResistBot does all the heavy work for you. So I would definitely encourage you to use ResistBot to message your Congresspeople. You can also use it to message state people within your state, your governor, things like that, state representatives as well. All right. So thank you very much. See you later.